What is it like having a roommate with a wildly contrasting personality? On the surface, she was the pure, aloof campus beauty. But at home, she became a messy girl who only wanted to sleep in. She wanted to cling to me 24 hours a day. She even wanted me to wash the stockings she had just taken off. Sometimes, while I was out, she'd pretend to be lost and sneak into my room. Then she'd deeply inhale the scent from my quilt. All because I forgot to wear a mask on the first day of school. My ridiculously handsome face attracted countless female classmates chasing after me like crazy. Even a 50-year-old cafeteria lady wanted to be my little darling. It scared me into renting a place off campus. Who knew I would end up sharing it with the campus beauty? At that moment, the landlord looked at us and said, "I understand both of your situations. I only have one two-bedroom apartment left. You both want a one-bedroom place, but neither of you can afford a two-bedroom alone. Why not share this place together?" Hearing that, I looked at the girl beside me and asked, "What do you think?" She hesitated for a moment, then nodded. After all, she had her own difficulties. Besides, this guy had made a fairly good first impression. And so, we quickly agreed and signed the lease. Then we picked up our luggage. Just then, she pointed at the room on the left and said, "I want this one." I nodded and headed for the other bedroom. By the time I had put everything away, it was already 8 that night. I was hungry, too. I was about to go out and get something to eat. When I reached the living room, I found her sitting on the couch. I had not really noticed before, but when I saw her face in the light, I froze. Her skin was smooth and delicate, as though it might break at a touch. Her beautiful large eyes were clear and bright. Noticing me, she spoke coolly. "Do you have a minute? Let's talk." I gave a brief reply and sat on the couch beside her. Her pleasant voice carried a trace of coolness. "Since we're living together, we should set some ground rules. What do you think?" I nodded. "No personal belongings in shared areas. We take turns cleaning. No bringing strangers home without permission. And neither of us enters the other's room without permission. No making noise at night and disturbing each other." When she finished, she stared directly at me. "Sure, I have no objections. As long as they're reasonable, I can accept them all. Also, my name is Xiao. With that, I stood and walked out. Seeing how readily I agreed, the girl was a little stunned. Still, it made her lower her guard a little. In the end, she turned back and added, My name is Ruoxue." And so, our life together as roommates began. The next morning, I came out of my room and found the living room empty. But I was about to be late and had no time to worry about that. I grabbed my backpack and ran to campus. When I reached the classroom, panting for breath, the girls inside immediately gasped, "He's so handsome. I'll ask for his contact information after class." Hearing their comments, the boys in class all shot me dagger-like looks. Ignoring their stares and gossip, I took a window seat in the back row. Just then, the boys in class cried out again. But I was still lost in my own world, until footsteps sounded behind me, and a fragrance drifted past. I glanced sideways, and froze. It was her. Ruoxue walked past me expressionlessly, and sat in the seat right in front of mine. Once everyone had arrived, the teacher entered as well. Standing at the front of the classroom, she said, "Hello, everyone. I'm your course instructor and faculty advisor. My name is Zhou Tong. Over the next 4 years, I hope we'll get along well. If you need anything, you can come to me. I'll do my best to help you solve any problems." After going over a few important points, we moved on to introductions. One student after another went up, and soon it was Ruoxue's turn. She rose from her seat and walked up front. "Hello, everyone. My name is Ruoxue." With that, she stepped down. Whispers immediately swept through the room. "Her surname is Su. Could she be from the Su group? My brother goes to this school. She was in the same year as him. That makes her a sophomore. She really is the Su group's heiress. But she took a leave from school not long after enrolling. It caused quite a stir. She's still the top-ranked campus beauty. No one has managed to replace her yet." Listening to everyone else's discussion, I frowned slightly. I never expected my roommate to be a wealthy heiress. Then why was she renting an apartment? I shook my head and pushed those thoughts aside. Why should I meddle in someone else's business? After the introductions, we moved on to electing class officers. People quickly stepped up for the other positions. But when it came to class president, no one ran. Zhou Tong was displeased. "Doesn't anyone want to be class president? If not, I'll have to call on someone." She looked over the class, until her gaze landed on me as I stared out the window. That student. Come up and run for it. At first, I didn't realize the teacher was calling me. Not until someone in front tapped on their desk. Did I turn around? The teacher wants you to run for class president. After saying that, she turned back around. You're Xiao Chen, right? Please come up and run for class president. I hesitated for a moment, but I went up anyway. Hello, everyone. My name is Xiao Chen. I don't want to be class president. The moment I said that, the whole class burst out laughing. Are all handsome guys this funny these days? Zhou Tong's face went dark. Take this seriously, or I'll appoint you class president directly. Seeing that, I stumbled through my speech. Only then did Zhou Tong nod in satisfaction. But since no one else came forward, she looked at me teasingly and said, Not bad, Xiao Chen. You're the class president from now on. Hearing that, I instantly looked dead inside. Once everything was finished, the bell rang for class to end. I bought some groceries at a nearby market and headed home. When I opened the door, I found Ruoxue on the sofa, eating takeout. When she saw me come back carrying groceries, she grew quietly curious. Then I went into the kitchen, rolled up my sleeves, and started cooking. Ruoxue watched me bustling about in the kitchen, lost in thought. He can actually cook, and it smells amazing. Before long, I carried the dishes into the dining room. I looked at Ruoxue, still eating in the living room, then hesitated before saying, I made some food. If you don't mind, come have a taste. Ruoxue paused. She hadn't expected him to invite her. Looking at her half-finished takeout, she thought it over, then eventually sat across from me. Thank you. I lowered my head and waved it off. You're welcome. I never expected us to be not only neighbors, but classmates too. Let's look out for each other. Ruoxue studied me. When she saw the tips of my ears turn red, the corners of her lips curled up. She hadn't expected this boy to be so shy. After we finished eating, I was just about to clean up when Ruoxue stopped me. To thank you for the meal. Let me wash the dishes. Unable to refuse her, I agreed. Watching her walk away, I finally let out a breath. It was my first time living with a girl, and luckily, nothing unpleasant had happened. Evening arrived quickly. Ruoxue lay on her stomach in bed, scrolling through her phone. Her pale bare feet swung by the bedside. She looked nothing like her usual cold self around others. Just then, a call came in. Seeing that it was labeled Mom, she hesitated before answering. Hello, Xiao. How is college life treating you? Ruoxue was silent for a moment, before replying flatly. Fine. There was a long silence on the other end, followed by a sigh. I'm sorry, Xiao. Mom has been really busy lately. Once I get through this busy period, I'll have time. When you're on break, I'll take you out for some fun. No need. Focus on your work. Ruoxue's tone remained casual. The voice on the other end asked again. Do you have enough money? I have enough. Grandpa gave me some. With that, Ruoxue hung up. Meanwhile, in an office, Wang looked at the disconnected call and shook her head helplessly. She truly had neglected her daughter's feelings because of work. Then she looked at a photo frame on her desk. In the picture, she was embracing her husband. They looked so happy and sweet together. Until that day, when the terrible news arrived, and everything in their family changed. Wang stared at the photograph, lost in a daze. Her eye rims slowly reddened. Honey, I miss you so much. After dinner was ready, I went to Ruoxue's door and knocked. Dinner's ready, Ruoxue answered, composing herself. When she opened the door, I had already served 2 bowls of rice. Several finished dishes sat on the table too. Seeing such colorful, fragrant, appetizing food, she couldn't help swallowing. Come eat. The 2 of us were quiet at the table. Then Ruoxue suddenly remembered something important. She broke the silence and said, I want to discuss something with you. I can't keep eating your food for free. Seeing how serious she was, I didn't say much. Let's split it evenly. I'm cooking for 1 anyway. Or for 2. It makes no real difference. But you're the one doing the cooking. Wouldn't it be unfair if I only paid for the ingredients? After thinking for a moment, she said, I'll pay 60% and you pay 40%. If you refuse, I won't have the nerve to eat it. Seeing how earnest she was, I smiled, then nodded in agreement. After that, we continued eating in silence. After dinner, I went to shower. But when I came out bare-chested afterward, I saw Ruoxue drinking water in the living room. We both froze. Ruoxue was the first to react. She quickly covered her eyes and shrieked, You jerk! Pervert! Damn it! I'd forgotten I wasn't living alone anymore. I'm sorry. After apologizing, I ran from my room. Ruoxue panicked too and hurried into her own room. Their doors slammed shut at the same time. Back in my room, I sat by the bed in regret. I hadn't yet broken my old habits. In the end, I helplessly lay down. There was military training tomorrow, so I needed to sleep early. Meanwhile, Ruoxue leaned against her door, her face burning red. The image she'd just seen still filled her mind. She lightly patted her cheeks, then lay down. But no matter how she tossed and turned, she couldn't sleep. When she got up the next day, there were faint dark circles beneath her eyes. When she saw me leave my room, she shot me an irritated glare. Feeling awkward, I looked away. There won't be a next time. I'll be more careful. Seeing that my apology was sincere, she let it go. Then, in a moment of stupidity, I said, "It's not like you lost out, right?" Ruoxue's anger instantly soared. Chen. My heart skipped a beat. I immediately stepped farther away. I didn't say anything. Ruoxue snorted coldly and went into the bathroom. I sat on the sofa, waiting in utter boredom. But I soon realized something was wrong. She'd been in there for over 10 minutes. Why wasn't she coming out? I went to the bathroom door and knocked. "How long have you been in there? Why aren't you coming out? I haven't even washed up yet. At this rate, I'm going to be late." Inside the bathroom, Ruoxue listened to my voice outside. Her lips curved upward. She checked the time and gave a sly smile. Outside, I paced anxiously back and forth. "Ma'am, please come out already. I really need to go." I regretted it so badly now. Why did I have to provoke her? Hearing me from inside, Ruoxue gradually stopped smiling. "And he called her ma'am? Was she really that old?" Seeing it was about time, she came out of the bathroom. I didn't even look at her. I hurried inside and shut the door. Ruoxue stood outside the door, covering her mouth as she secretly laughed. She didn't know why she felt this way. She was clearly never good with words, yet she kept making exceptions for a boy she'd only just met. Maybe it was their time together these past 2 days. Chen gave her no reason to dislike him. Or maybe it was his cooking. There was something familiar about him. Ruoxue stopped overthinking it. She glanced toward the bathroom, then chuckled softly. Then she shut the door and went to school. 20 minutes later, I ran to the classroom door, panting heavily. Ruoxue, sitting in the back row, saw me. She couldn't hold back a laugh. Tong didn't look pleased either. Someone was late on the very first day of military training. "So tell me, Mr. Class President, what happened?" I glanced at Ruoxue in the back row. Our eyes met, and hers were smiling. Come to think of it, she looked quite pretty when she smiled. Then I turned to Tong and explained, "I'm sorry. I overslept. I couldn't bring myself to rat anyone out." After Tong gave me a thorough lecture, I was finally allowed into the classroom. When I reached the back of the classroom, I found that the window seat in the last row had already been claimed by Ruoxue. I shot her a fierce glare. Ruoxue glared right back without flinching, a provocative smile playing on her lips. I had no choice but to sit in the second to last row. After Tong went over the instructions, she had us line up on the field. The morning of military training passed quickly. At the instructor's dismissal, everyone cheered and headed for the cafeteria. I walked past Ruoxue, glanced at her, and left without a word. She followed behind me with a smile and said, "Still holding a grudge, Mr. Class President?" I rolled my eyes at her and ignored her. "I want spicy boiled pork slices for lunch." She no longer had to buy meals outside, so she deliberately stayed behind to wait for me. "Do you really think I'm your personal chef? We agreed on this before. Or can you bear to let me go hungry?" "I can." I snorted coldly and walked faster. She knew I didn't mean it, so she followed me. "I added you on WeChat. Accept my request." "Why did you add me?" "So I can send you money for groceries." She looked at me as if I were an idiot. After I accepted her friend request, she immediately transferred me 5,000 yuan. I was startled. "Isn't that too much? This is all I have for now. It should cover food for a while, right? If it isn't enough, ask me for more." "It's enough." When we got home, Ruoxue went into the bathroom to shower. I prepared lunch in the kitchen. When she came out, the dishes were ready. Ruoxue looked at the 2 dishes on the table. One of them was the spicy boiled pork slices she'd wanted. She couldn't help swallowing. "I'm going to shower. If the food's ready, go ahead and eat." With that, I went into the bathroom. Ruoxue picked up her chopsticks, picked up a piece of pork, and took a bite. Then she closed her eyes in satisfaction. Delicious. Unable to stop herself, She picked up several more pieces. Over the next few days of military training, everyone in the class had changed a great deal. To reward everyone, Zhou Tong, our advisor, bought several large watermelons. She asked the class president to hand out the watermelon. So I stepped up and distributed the watermelon. Once I finished, I noticed Ruoxue handing her own piece of watermelon to the instructor. Instructor Liu, have some. We have plenty more. Instructor Liu initially wanted to refuse, but Ruoxue was too insistent. In the end, he could only accept it with thanks. But when she returned, all the watermelon was gone. Her water bottle had already run dry. There wasn't enough time to buy water now. In the end, she decided to tough it out and headed for the shade. Just as she sat down, a slice of watermelon appeared before her. She turned her head in disbelief and found me sitting beside her. It's for you. Ruoxue didn't take it. Instead, she asked, isn't this yours? It's extra. Ruoxue took it. Seeing the faint redness at the tips of my ears, she remained dazed for a long while. Then her lips curved upward as she said, thank you. The watermelon was sweet and refreshing. Ruoxue felt it was the best and sweetest watermelon she had ever eaten. She knew there hadn't been any extra watermelon, so the slice she was eating was Xiao Chen's, and he must have seen her give her slice to the instructor. The military training passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, 2 weeks had gone by. I left campus and went to a milk tea shop nearby. Manager, hearing my voice, the man inside looked toward the door. You're here. You finally came back, kid. While you were gone, I lost a lot of customers. The speaker was Zhao Yu, the shop manager. When I was looking for a summer job, he immediately spotted my good looks and sensed a business opportunity. So he decisively hired me, and the facts proved that he'd made the right choice. That entire summer, the shop's milk tea sold like crazy, and most of the customers were girls. After chatting briefly with the manager, I returned to my station. Just then, a woman's voice came from outside. Is the owner here? Coming. I came out carrying a box. But when my eyes landed on Ruoxue, I froze. Ruoxue clearly hadn't expected to see me here either. She was just as surprised as I was. Lin Sisi beside her was stunned too, because she hadn't expected such a handsome guy. The three of us stood there awkwardly, without anyone saying a word. I was the first to snap out of it. Looking at them, I said, ladies, what would you like to drink? Lin Sisi came back to her senses, though she still couldn't hide her starstruck look. 1 pearl milk tea and 1 lime grapefruit tea. Sure. Just a moment. After paying, the two of them sat down together. Xiao, that guy is so handsome. Seeing that Ruoxue was unmoved, she said, what's wrong? Aren't you excited? Ruoxue thought to herself, I see him every day. What's there to get excited about? Oh, I forgot. You hate men. Seeing her expression, Ruoxue explained, he's in my class. No wonder. Lin Sisi then looked at Ruoxue teasingly. So, do you like him? Or are other girls pursuing him? Ruoxue frowned and shot her a fierce glare. Don't talk nonsense. Just as Lin Sisi was about to ask more, I brought over their drinks. Lin Sisi watched my retreating back for a long while before looking away. He's really something. Girl, I think I'm in love. I want to pursue him. At that, Ruoxue unconsciously bit her straw. An inexplicable feeling spread through her heart. She didn't know why she felt that way. Then good luck. He's in high demand. Lin Sisi keenly sensed something off in her tone. She suddenly said with a grin, oh, Xiao, you like him too? Who says I do? Ruoxue's flustered reaction looked like an admission to Lin Sisi. After all, she knew her best friend well. Everyone thought Ruoxue was cold and aloof, but as her friend, Lin Sisi knew she was simply not good with words. And now, she had actually fallen for a guy. As her best friend, Lin Sisi naturally wanted to help bring them together. So, you like him? Then I won't compete with you. Sisi, keep talking nonsense and I'll hit you. Lin Sisi shuddered. She hurriedly raised her hands in front of herself. All right, I won't say another word. Why are you always so icy? You're terrifying. You'll scare the handsome guy away. Ruoxue ignored Lin Sisi and looked toward Xiao Chen. I was busy making drinks. 2 girls were still waiting at the counter. Their eyes sparkled as they watched me, but I remained strictly professional, handing them their drinks without expression. For some reason, the sight made Ruoxue feel a little jealous, but also somewhat relieved. She had agreed to live with Chen because of his unbelievably handsome face. Almost as if she were under a spell. If he were a little more cheerful, he might be even more popular. The moment she had those thoughts, Ruoxue startled herself. Since when had she cared so much about Chen? Coming back to her senses, Ruoxue met Lin Sissy's teasing gaze. Her face immediately flushed as she said, "Why are you looking at me? Girl, you have no idea how long you've been staring at him." Ruoxue rolled her eyes at her and said, "I wasn't staring at him that long." Ruoxue ignored her, grabbed her lime grapefruit tea, and walked out. Lin Sissy could only follow. After saying goodbye to Lin Sissy, Ruoxue returned to the apartment. Looking at the empty room, she was overcome by mixed emotions. Remembering that she had added me on WeChat, for some reason, she took out her phone and typed, "Are you coming back to cook tonight?" When she saw my affirmative reply, a flicker of joy rose within her. She was as happy as a child given candy. After some time, the sound of the door opening came from the entrance. Ruoxue stood up and saw me walk and carrying bags full of groceries. I smiled at her and went into the kitchen to make dinner. She followed me in and tentatively said, let me wash the vegetables." "No need. Just sit down. I can't let a girl do the work." Watching me bustle around, she said apologetically, "I'm sorry. Will this interfere with your plans?" "No. A friend asked me to eat out later, so I won't be eating at home." Ruoxue gave a quiet acknowledgement and returned to the living room. When I brought the dishes out, she asked hesitantly, "Were you working part-time this afternoon? Are they still hiring where you work?" I looked at her in disbelief. "What? You want a part-time job too?" Ruoxue nodded, then lowered her head again. "If that is asking too much of you, then forget it." "Sure, I'll ask for you." "Okay, thank you." Then my phone vibrated. It was a message from Xiao, whom I had added that afternoon. "We're having barbecue at the campus food street. Get over here." Seeing that, I looked at Ruoxue and said, "I'm heading out." Ruoxue pressed her lips together and gave a quiet acknowledgement. As she watched the closed door, a hollow feeling washed over her. Meanwhile, I followed Xiaofeng's address to a barbecue restaurant. When Xiaofeng saw me, he called out warmly, "Class monitor, over here." I walked over, pulled out a stool, and sat down. Before long, everyone had ordered. They ate and chatted, and the mood soon livened up. As we ate, Xiaofeng looked around mysteriously. "Remember Ruoxue, the campus beauty in our class? How could we forget? Spit it out already." Xiaofeng gave a sly grin and said, "You all know Ruoxue was originally a sophomore, right? But I've got some insider gossip you don't know. You know the campus beauty took a year off school, but there was more to it. That piqued everyone's curiosity. Stop keeping us in suspense. Hurry up and tell us." Even I stopped eating and looked at Xiaofeng. Back then, Ruoxue was the talk of the campus. The guys chasing her could have lined up from the school gate all the way here. But she rarely showed herself and had a cold personality. So she still didn't have a boyfriend. Even so, plenty of guys still pursued her. There was even a rich heir who tried to pursue her, but she beat him up. After that, Ruoxue took a leave from school. Some said there were problems at home, and she had no choice but to pause her studies. Others said the school had disciplined her. There were all kinds of rumors. After he finished, Xiaofeng looked at everyone's expressions and could not hide his pride. "Well, I only learned all this from an upperclassman. Not bad, not bad." Everyone went back to eating. Meanwhile, I lowered my head and thought. Then Xiaofeng slung an arm over my shoulder. "Xiao, you handsome devil, I've got a question for you." "What is it?" "I get the feeling you're pretty close to Ruoxue. You don't have something going on, do you?" Xiaofeng raised his eyebrows, wearing a mischievous grin, with a look that said he knew exactly what was going on. "No. Who would believe that? I've seen you walking with the campus beauty several times, and all those signs during military training show. Your relationship is anything but ordinary. Come on, tell us. How far have you gotten?" "There's nothing between us. I don't plan on dating either." Xiaofeng clearly did not believe me, but seeing that I did not want to say more, he did not press me further. After we finished everything, everyone went their separate ways. The next day, I got up early. It was the first day of classes, and I did not want to be late again. When I came out, I found Ruoxue brushing her teeth in the bathroom. All I could do was sit on the couch and wait. Once she came out, I could not resist teasing her. "If you stay in there for more than 10 minutes again, like last time, I'm done for." It's still early. Ruoxue recalled what happened before, and the corners of her lips slowly lifted. Before long, I was ready to leave. Ruoxue grabbed her backpack and came with me. In the elevator, I yawned and said weakly, "You don't have to wait for me. You're imagining things." She turned away with a proud little huff. When we reached the classroom, she got there first and claimed the seat in the last row. "Sorry, find another seat." I gave a cold snort, then sat right beside her. Ruoxue was startled. Once she recovered, a blush spread across her face. She seemed about to speak, but stopped herself. "I'll sit wherever I want." Ruoxue angrily turned away. Having a man sitting beside her was something she was not used to, but I was captivated. How could she look so adorable when she was angry? Her little face was bright red, her lips pressed together. It was devastatingly cute. Noticing my gaze, she fiercely stomped on my foot. Ow, that hurt? This girl was surprisingly strong. Soon, the substitute teacher entered. We both put those thoughts aside and listened seriously. The teacher explained the lesson simply and clearly, but there were parts I did not understand. I glanced at Ruoxue, who was diligently taking notes beside me. She turned her head and said coolly, "What are you looking at? I have 2 questions to ask you." Ruoxue nodded, all businesslike. "Let me see." We suddenly leaned very close together. From where I sat, I caught her faint, elusive scent. Instead of looking at the questions, I found myself watching her profile. Her skin was flawless and fair, like a freshly peeled egg. At that thought, my face grew even hotter. "Do you understand now?" Ruoxue had finished explaining. She looked up and saw me blushing as I stared blankly ahead. Is this pervert thinking about something else? At that thought, her face turned red too. I snapped back to my senses and said guiltily, "I understand." She clearly did not believe me. She studied me closely. Under that intimidating gaze, I gave in and said awkwardly, "No. Did you not understand? Or were you not listening at all?" I got distracted. "I wasn't listening." She smacked her forehead and patiently explained it again. This time, I did not get distracted and listened carefully. During the second half of class, Ruoxue took out her earphones and began listening to music. She stared out the window, her thoughts already far away. The longing in her eyes was impossible to hide. After class, Ruoxue packed up her things, then looked at me and said, "Anything for dinner is fine." I did not notice Ruoxue's slightly reddened eyes. Her voice was somewhat low, as if she were feeling lost. So we parted ways on the road. Ruoxue went home, while I went alone to the market to pick out a fish. Even I could tell that something was wrong with Ruoxue's mood. I had noticed it when she started listening to music, but I did not feel right prying into her private matters. When I came back carrying groceries, the living room was silent. I went into the kitchen and started cooking. Then I went to her door and called her out for dinner. As soon as she sat down, Ruoxue stared blankly at the plate of steamed fish. She picked up a piece of fish and carefully put it in her mouth. In that instant, she looked at me with wide eyes. "Is it not good?" Seeing her expression, I thought I had ruined it. "No, it's delicious." I nodded, though I was not sure why. For a while, we quietly focused on eating, neither of us speaking, and Ruoxue ended up eating every last piece of fish. After dinner, she returned to her room without a word. She sat on her bed, tears filling her eyes. Unable to hold back any longer, she began to cry. "It tastes just like Dad's cooking. Dad, I miss you so much." But I had no idea that one dish I made had awakened her memories. After class that afternoon, I looked at Ruoxue and said, "I got an answer about the part-time job you asked me to find. Want to take a look?" Ruoxue looked at me, slightly excited. "Is it really that milk tea shop?" "No. The manager does not need anyone anymore. But at the convenience store next door, I found you a job as a cashier. I don't know if you'd be interested. Any job is fine. I'm not picky. Then I'll take you to see it." Before long, we arrived at the convenience store. After work that day, I had seen a help wanted sign at the convenience store next door. After I explained why I was there to the owner, she agreed to my request. But when the owner saw Ruoxue, she frowned. Both our hearts sank. "What is it? Is there a problem?" The owner looked at Ruoxue and asked, "Can you handle hard work? There is quite a lot I need you to do. I may be looking for a cashier, but whenever deliveries come in, boxes need moving. I cannot manage it all by myself, which is why I need someone to help. I thought your classmate would be a guy too." Ruoxue said firmly, "I can do it. Then let's give it a try. The owner finally agreed, mainly because I told her I worked next door and could help out whenever needed. Then I returned to the milk tea shop to continue working, while the two of them discussed her pay. Not long after, Ruoxue came over to me in a red uniform. Did you get it? She nodded, her face glowing with delight. Yes, thank you for helping me. You helped me get this job. After chatting briefly, she returned to her post. At 9 that evening, I passed the convenience store after work and saw Ruoxue was still working, so I went home first. More than 10 minutes later, she got off work too. She came to the milk tea shop next door but did not find me, so she asked the owner. He got off work more than 10 minutes ago. You're that kid's girlfriend, right? You'd make a great match. At once, Ruoxue's face went scarlet. She clearly had not expected Xiao to say that. We're not. With that, she ran off in a flash. Xiao was left chuckling to himself. That brat sure is lucky. Once outside, Ruoxue felt her face burning. She did not know why. So many people thought the two of them were a couple. But were they not just classmates? Lost in those wild thoughts, Ruoxue returned home. She opened the door and looked up to see me coming out of the bathroom. Just like last time, I was completely naked. Ruoxue let out a scream at the sight. The moment I saw her, I ran back into my room, leaving Ruoxue in the living room, gritting her teeth in fury. Twice now, she really wanted to beat Chen up. I leaned against the door, breathing hard. I really did not do it on purpose. I thought Ruoxue would not get off work so soon. I never expected her to come home this early. Then came a knock at the door, snapping me back to my senses. Chen, stop playing dumb. Get dressed and get out here. She was genuinely angry, even swearing now, since we lived under the same roof and had to see each other. I opened the door again. Ruoxue stood there, glaring at me furiously. I said awkwardly, how do I put this? It was purely an accident. Like hell it was. This is the second time. I think you did it on purpose. One more rule. You are not allowed to be naked in common areas anymore. If there is a next time, I will definitely beat you up. I scratched my head and quickly agreed. Last time was an accident. This time was just bad luck. Looks like I really needed to break this habit. After class the next morning, Lin Cici came to our classroom door. After looking around, she finally spotted Ruoxue in a corner at the back. But to her surprise, beside her man-hating best friend, sat a boy. Looking closer, wasn't that the handsome guy from the milk tea shop? Lin Cici wore a teasing expression. She knew Ruoxue had been lying. If she did not like him, how could she let a guy sit beside her? After packing up, Ruoxue walked out of the classroom. Lin Cici hurried over, practically buzzing with gossip. Girl, you have not been honest with me. Tell me that handsome guy's name. You actually let him sit next to you? No, we're just classmates. I did not even ask about that. Why are you so nervous? So, you two really are. Before Lin Cici could finish, Ruoxue kicked her. Clutching her butt, she said resentfully, honestly, fine, I will not ask. I can find out with a little digging anyway. After class that afternoon, Ruoxue and I headed to work together. On the street, a black business van was parked by the curb. The person inside watched our retreating backs and frowned. It was Suwan. She had finally managed to step away from her busy affairs and come to Jiangcheng to see her daughter. Instead, she found the two of us heading to our part-time jobs after class, especially the boy beside her daughter, who made her frown deeply. She had never seen her daughter so close to a boy. She told the driver to follow them, determined to get to the bottom of it. After seeing each of them enter a different shop, Suwan realized her daughter had a part-time job. Her heart ached and her guilt deepened, especially as she watched Ruoxue working diligently at the counter. She desperately wanted to go see her daughter, but remembered their strained mother-daughter relationship. With a sigh, she told the driver, let's go. It's time to head back. Ms. Su, aren't you going to see Xiao? You know what that child is like. Meeting now would only make our relationship tense again. Besides, we are running out of time. The driver sighed and drove away. Through the window, Suwan watched her daughter inside. Finally, she said, look into that boy. She was rather curious. What kind of boy could get close to her daughter? Meanwhile, while working, Ruoxue received a message from her mother. Her mother had sent her a cash gift. She told her to enjoy herself at school and eat more. Her expression was conflicted, but she accepted the money anyway and replied, thanks, Mom. After work, Ruoxue said goodbye to the owner and prepared to leave. Just then, I came in through the door. "You're not off work yet?" I shrugged. "It's Friday, so it's busy," the owner teased. "Your boyfriend came to see you again." Ruoxue blushed at that. "Ma'am, don't tease me. We're just classmates." The owner smiled and shook her head. With her experience, how could she not see it? I took 2 cans of beer from the cooler and brought them to the counter. "Are you off work?" "I got off ages ago." "Go on," the owner teased from the side. After paying, Ruoxue and I walked out together. On the way, she watched me tilt my head back to drink. She could not help saying, "You should drink less. This is my first time drinking in front of you, and you're already telling me to cut back. Alcohol is bad for your health. I'm just satisfying a craving." When we got home, I lay down and immediately fell asleep. After Ruoxue finished showering, she found the living room empty. Then she looked toward my room. Did he really get drunk from that little? The next day, I got up early and went to shower. When I came out, Ruoxue was standing right outside. She looked at me reproachfully. "Showering in broad daylight. You got drunk after drinking so little yesterday." She did not forget to mock me. "If you can't drink, don't drink." Damn it, that girl had actually mocked me. So I tried to explain. "I was just too tired and fell asleep yesterday." But Ruoxue casually walked into the bathroom. She had gotten up to use the bathroom, only to find Chen showering. She was nearly bursting. But when she saw his sour expression, her playful side emerged. She wanted to tease him. When she came out, she saw me making breakfast. So she asked, "Can I place an order?" "No." Ruoxue pouted. But there was nothing she could do. After all, she could not cook. Still, she ate whatever Chen made. It was all quite delicious. It was the weekend. After breakfast, Ruoxue accepted Lin Sissy's invitation to practice taekwondo. The two did not leave school until noon. "Girl, I've got evidence against you. Deny it all you want. It won't change a thing." Lin Sissy waved her phone in front of Ruoxue. It displayed the Wabo University forum, with photos of Ruoxue and me walking together. The comments were full of envy. Ruoxue's cool eyes flashed with fury. She shot her so-called best friend a fierce glare. Lin Sissy sensed murderous intent and immediately stepped back. "Girl, even if you kill me, you can't hide the truth." Ruoxue clenched her fist. Just as she was about to say something, her phone rang inside her bag. She took it out and saw that it was a call from me. She went to a corner and answered. "What took you so long? What are you doing?" Hearing the unfriendly tone on the other end, Ruoxue froze for a moment. "We're out of groceries at home. Since you're out, pick some up on your way back." "Oh, what should I buy?" "Buy whatever you want to eat." Ruoxue agreed. She changed direction and headed to the market. Before long, she returned carrying a huge pile of groceries. "This should last us 2 or 3 days, right?" I checked everything over and nodded. Then, somewhat helplessly, I said, "Just how much do you like fish?" She turned her head away and said, "Is that a problem? You said to buy whatever I wanted to eat." "No, that is not it. I did not mean anything by it. I want fish soup later." I smiled and agreed, watching my back as I busied myself in the kitchen. She took out her phone and found the post Lin Sissy had shown her. As she read the comments below, her face grew colder and colder. She wanted nothing more than to find those people and beat them senseless. Were they not just classmates and roommates? They knew nothing, yet they were making wild guesses. Even so, when she thought back on how they had spent the past couple of weeks together, it did seem just a little as if they were dating. At that thought, Ruoxue's face flushed crimson again. Her own thoughts startled her. "Dinner's ready." My voice pulled Ruoxue from her thoughts. She sat at the dining table and asked hesitantly, "Have you seen the forum?" "The forum?" "No." I took out my phone and opened the school forum. My eyes immediately widened. Seeing my reaction, Ruoxue nervously gripped her chopsticks. I looked up at her with an odd expression. "The Campus Beauty and Heartthrob rankings are now open. Vote for the one you like." "Do you want me to vote for you?" "Sure, go ahead." "That is not what I mean." "Then what are you trying to say?" Then, guided by Ruoxue, I finally saw those posts. "So what?" "They are just spreading rumors. You know what our relationship is. We are just roommates. There is nothing between us. Why care what they say?" Ruoxue was surprised by how calm I was. "Why are you looking at me like that? Did I say something wrong?" "No." Then I teased her. "Are you sure you do not need me to vote for you?" "Get lost." After the weekend, The two of us returned to class. Before class, Zhou Tong said, because of the earlier rain and the upcoming National Day holiday, the school planned to combine the freshman welcome event with the National Day Gala. Anyone who wanted to perform could register with her. After saying that, Zhou Tong began teaching. I looked at Ruoxue beside me and said, I signed you up. She practically shouted on instinct. Her voice was a little loud. People in the rows behind us turned around to watch. Zhou Tong looked our way and cleared her throat. Those in the back, quiet down. Once the teacher resumed the lesson, Ruoxue finally shot me a fierce glare. I spread my hands, pretending to be innocent, but I soon stopped smiling. Ruoxue stepped on my shoe and ground her foot down over and over. Once she had vented enough, she finally lifted her foot. My face was twisted in pain. It was only a joke. Ruoxue gave a cold snort and ignored me. Across the aisle, Zhao Feng gave me a thumbs up. Impressive. You even dared to provoke the campus beauty. The class period soon passed. After class, I went to the restroom to wash my face. As I passed through the hallway, I brushed past several people. They seemed to be part of the same clique. My first impression of them was not good. But when I returned, I found my seat surrounded by people. Looking closer, I saw they were the same guys from the hallway. Ruoxue, you're back. Why didn't you tell me? I only found out from the forum that you'd returned. Ruoxue frowned. She did not even look at the man before her. Do I even know you that well? Back off. Stop bothering me. Wang Hao looked slightly embarrassed, but a barely noticeable chill flashed in his eyes. I only came to see you. I do not need that. Just as Wang Hao was about to say more, a voice came from behind him. Hey, you are blocking my way. Wang Hao froze. He turned around and saw me saying it with a blank expression. Who are you? This is my seat. You are blocking my way. He looked down and saw the desk beside Ruoxue had a black backpack in its drawer. A guy was sitting beside Ruoxue. With that thought, Wang Hao's expression darkened. A sour pang of jealousy welled up inside him. Ruoxue had never let another man sit beside her before. Yet this time, she actually had. His tone turned hostile as he said, You will not be sitting here again. I gave a cold laugh, my expression turning icy. Are you sure? Say that again. An eerie silence fell over the room. The others in class sensed something was wrong and quickly moved farther away. Wang Hao walked to my desk and viciously threw my backpack to the floor. I said you are not allowed to sit here. Wang Hao, do not push it too far. Ruoxue stood up and glared coldly at him. But before he could finish, I punched Wang Hao in the stomach. As he doubled over in pain, I grabbed his arm and threw him over my shoulder, slamming him to the ground. Wang Hao had no time to react and lay on the floor in pain. More than the pain in his body, the humiliation and fury in his heart stung worse. His lackeys were stunned. They had planned to rush in and help, but after seeing how well I could fight, they did not dare come any closer. Wang Hao got up and tried to charge at me again. Then the vice class president, Jia Ran, spoke up. Class is about to start. The teacher will be here soon. Are you not leaving yet? Hearing that, Wang Hao could only lead his lackeys away. At the door, he shot me a chilling look. Just you wait. With a cold snort, he walked out. I returned to my seat, without sparing him a glance. Soon after, Zhou Tong walked in. Seeing that the class was acting strangely, she said, All right, why is everyone standing around? Get ready for class. Only then did everyone return to their seats. During class, Ruoxue kept glancing my way. I am sorry. I got you into trouble. Seeing her expression, I smiled and said, I do not hear much sincerity in that apology. Ruoxue shot me a glare. Now you are really pushing your luck. After that idiot Wang Hao caused a scene, she was already in a terrible mood. Seeing Ruoxue clench her fist, the corner of my mouth twitched. Why could she still not take a joke? All right, I am not blaming you. What are you apologizing for? Besides, I cannot stand people like them. Seeing how unconcerned I was, Ruoxue said nothing more. The two of us continued listening to the lesson. After class, she still wanted to explain things to me. It turned out Wang Hao was one of her admirers. He had an impressive background, and his family was quite wealthy. Unlike the others, this guy clung to her like a stubborn leech. Other men avoided Ruoxue whenever they saw her, but Wang Hao shamelessly kept coming back. She had no way to get rid of him. My eyes widened at that. I could hardly believe it. A human punching bag. I almost admired the guy. He would risk anything for love. I looked at Su Ruoxue teasingly and said, "He is trying so hard. Why not just say yes to him?" "Xiao Chen, I would never go for someone like him." "Enough. Let us not talk about him. Let us go eat." With the gala coming up, the students had been distracted in class these past few days. A stage had already been set up on the field. I was not interested in the event at first, but Xiao Yu thought it was a great opportunity. He had me bring milk tea to sell there. It was sure to sell well. I did not agree at first, but I could not refuse my boss, so I had no choice but to agree. At 7 that evening, the show officially began. I walked through the crowd carrying a box of milk tea, saying to everyone I met, "Hey there, want some milk tea?" Before long, I had sold quite a few cups. Because of my looks, most of my customers were girls. Many of them even asked for my contact information, but I turned them down every time. That always earned me their wounded looks. Just then, I heard someone call out to me from behind. I turned around and saw Su Ruoxue and Lin Cece. "It is you two." I walked over to them, then said to Su Ruoxue, "Why are you not at work? Did you take the day off?" "I came to listen to some music." Seeing how close we seemed, Lin Cece pouted beside us. "You two, tone it down. I am still standing right here." At Lin Cece's words, Su Ruoxue glared at her. "If you keep quiet, no one will think you are mute." Handsome Xiao. Xiao Shu skipped dinner and came to complain to me. "That is not. Do not make things up." Lin Cece continued teasing her. "Handsome Xiao, can you treat us to some milk tea?" Su Ruoxue was about to refuse when she saw me take out a chicken drumstick and a lime grapefruit tea from the box. "Why did you skip dinner?" "Make do with these for now." Su Ruoxue froze. She wanted to say. She could barely stomach anything but my cooking. After all, I had spoiled her palate lately. Lin Cece spoke up from the side. "Handsome Xiao, where is mine?" Hearing that, my face went expressionless again. "Since you are Su Ruoxue's best friend, I will give you 20% off." Lin Cece's mouth twitched wildly. "Fine, I will not third wheel for you two." She had only been joking, then bought a cup of milk tea from me. As Su Ruoxue drank the milk tea I gave her, the strange feeling in her heart grew stronger. Lin Cece teased her with a mischievous smile. "That is pretty nice. He even knows you like lime grapefruit tea, and had it ready in advance." "Cece, it is not what you think." The gala's 2.5 hours passed quickly. Then the host stepped onto the stage and said, "We will end with a little game. Whoever gets picked has to come up and show us a talent." With a new event added, the students naturally cheered in agreement. As the spotlight swept back and forth, everyone grew nervous. At last, the light settled on a corner. The corner of my mouth twitched. I never expected it to land on me. Lin Cece eagerly stirred things up. "Handsome Xiao, impressive. What are you going to perform?" Su Ruoxue said nothing, but her expression gave her away. The corners of her mouth lifted into a broad smile, clearly eager to see me embarrass myself. "Let us congratulate the student. Freshman, please come up here." In the end, I reluctantly walked on stage. Once I got on stage, the female host eyes lit up at the sight of such a handsome freshman. After collecting herself, she joked, "What are you planning to perform, freshman? Singing is fine if you do not want to dance. Even if you are tone deaf, give it a try." "I will sing an old song, The Sea." When Su Ruoxue heard the title, her eyes flew wide open. She sat frozen in place, her face full of disbelief. As the melodic accompaniment began, my rich, magnetic voice rang out. Everyone below was captivated by the song, but Su Ruoxue, in the corner, already had red-rimmed eyes. She began singing along. When the final word of the song was sung, I slowly lowered the microphone. The host came over with a smile and said, "Thank you, freshman, for that performance. Who knew you were so talented?" After exchanging a few polite words with the host, I returned to my seat as well. When I got back, I noticed Su Ruoxue had her head lowered. I did not notice anything wrong with her mood. I merely glanced at her and said, "Let us go, Su Ruoxue." She answered with a barely audible okay and followed me. The moment we left the field, her delicate hand caught hold of my arm. I turned to look at her in confusion. "What is wrong?" A faint mist of tears filled Su Ruoxue's eyes, but in the darkness, I could not see it clearly. I only sensed that she was upset. "That song. Can you tell me why you wanted to sing it?" "It is the only song I know how to sing. Someone else taught it to me. It has special meaning to me." "Is that person important to you?" Su Ruoxue stared at me, her tone more serious than ever. I nodded. "Unfortunately, when I left her, I did not even get to say goodbye. Even speaking of it dampened my mood. Then I discreetly slipped my hand from hers and said, "Come on, let us go home." "Why are you acting so strange?" Ruoxue shook her head and brushed it off. "I am in a bad mood." She watched my retreating back with a complicated expression, lost in thought. "Little Chen, is it really you?" After we got home, Ruoxue sat on the sofa, watching my busy figure in the kitchen. For a while, she could not look away. She compared my figure with her childhood memories from childhood and found several genuine similarities. Even our names were alike. Could there really be such a coincidence? Though she knew, judging someone by a song and a name alone was rather absurd, she still wanted to verify it. If she confirmed he was Little Chen, then she would. At that thought, Ruoxue clenched her fists. She wanted to rush over and confront Xiao Chen about what happened back then give him a beating. But reason ultimately held her back. "Come eat your noodles." Coming, Ruoxue walked over to find two large bowls of noodles on the table. As we ate, her eyes kept darting toward me. "Stop staring. You have looked at me so many times. Is there something on my face? What if I am looking at you?" Ruoxue's tone was a little sharp. I shook my head helplessly. Ever since I came down from the stage, this girl had seemed like a different person. Ruoxue also realized her tone had been unpleasant. She said nothing more and quietly finished her meal. After dinner, she tossed and turned in bed. What happened that night had shaken her deeply, leaving her unable to sleep. During class the next day, Zhao Feng leaned over and said, "After today, the National Day break starts. Handsome Xiao, are you going home for the break?" It had been a long time since I had seen Grandpa. I wanted to go back and look after him, so I agreed without hesitation. Hearing that, Zhao Feng could only give up on asking me to join them. What a shame. No one in our dorm is going home. We were going to hang out together during the break. Hearing my answer, Ruoxue, her eyes darted as an idea came to her. At noon, while I was cooking, she stood in the doorway and asked, "You are going home for the break, right?" "Yeah. Why do you ask? Can I go with you?" I stared at her in disbelief. "Ruoxue, what are you thinking? A beautiful girl like you suddenly wants to come home with me." No matter how I looked at it, it seemed strange. "I am serious. My mom is busy. It makes no difference whether I go home or not. It is boring staying here, too. So, I want you to take me in." As she said this, she looked utterly pitiful, unable to resist her pleading eyes. I said helplessly, "All right. Really? Thank you so much." Then Ruoxue thought for a moment and added, "Mostly because your cooking is so delicious. It would be a shame to go so many days without it." Of course, her real purpose was to see where Xiao Chen lived. That way, she could learn more about him and see whether he was the childhood friend from her memories. "You really have fallen for me." Ruoxue smiled. "Maybe moving in with you was the best decision I ever made. I almost missed out on a master chef." Then we returned to our rooms to pack. I had very little to pack. I only brought a backpack. Ruoxue, on the other hand, had much more to pack. She was still in her room. A short while later, she finally came out carrying a small suitcase. "You took forever." As I stood up, I could not help complaining. "Girls have a lot of things to pack, okay? Try to be patient." She shot me a glare, silently cursing me for being such an insensitive man. When we arrived at the station, because of the holiday, it was especially crowded. I walked ahead, constantly urging Ruoxue to hurry up. Annoyed, Ruoxue hurried forward and shoved her suitcase into my hands. "What kind of man lets a girl carry her own luggage? You carry this." She dusted off her hands and said it as though it were only natural. I looked at her with a strange expression. Her suitcase was not heavy. I could not understand how something so light had taken her so long to pack. "What are you standing around for? Go buy the tickets and get mine too." I answered with a helpless sigh and lined up at the ticket machine. Ruoxue sat on a bench some distance away and watched me. Once aboard, we stood in a corner of the train. At first, I could keep some distance from her, but as more people boarded, we were soon pressed tightly together. Catching my scent, Ruoxue's face instantly turned red. "Do not stand so close to me. I would rather not, but people are pushing me from behind." Only then did Ruoxue look around. She realized Xiao Chen was keeping the crowd away from her. She was relatively protected, though their position was terribly embarrassing. Not until some people got off did they have a little more room. I immediately stepped to the right and turned my head away. Ruoxue noticed the tips of my ears were bright red. The corner of her lips lifted. Remembering their contact just now, she too began letting her imagination run wild. It had been so long since she had felt cared for like that. Before long, we arrived outside Grandpa's apartment building. I took out my key, opened the door, and called out, "Grandpa." Hearing the familiar voice, an elderly man kneading dough in the living room, turned around with a warm smile and said, "Little Chen, you are back." Then he looked at the young woman behind me and asked, "And this is my classmate. She has some family matters to deal with. She will be staying with us for the holiday." "Hello, Grandpa. My name is Ruoxue." Xiao smiled at Ruoxue. He had not expected me to bring a classmate home, especially a female classmate. That is a lovely name. "Welcome, welcome. Come in and sit down." After showing Ruoxue to the guest room, I went to the living room and sat beside Grandpa. He set a bottle of beer in front of me and poured himself a full glass of liquor. I smiled at the sight. Grandpa only drank when he was truly happy, and clearly, it was because I had come home. Between summer break and the start of school, I had not been back for over a month. After chatting for a while, Grandpa suddenly asked, "What is going on between you and that girl?" "What could be going on? We are just classmates." Xiao studied me and said, "This old man is not blind yet. No matter how I look at it, there is something special between you two. So, you have finally grown up enough to think about getting a girlfriend. Do not say nonsense either. You will ruin her reputation." While we were talking, Ruoxue came out of her room. When she saw Grandpa and me drinking again, she immediately said, "Grandpa, drinking too much is bad for your health." Xiao smiled and said, "All right. This brat insisted on drinking with me. I will stop drinking." I was utterly speechless. How is this somehow my fault? Ruoxue marched up to me furiously and held out her hand. "Give it to me. Let me finish this bottle. It is only one bottle." "No." Seeing Ruoxue's firm attitude, I reluctantly handed her the beer. Watching her pour it into the sink, my heart ached. I could drink back at the apartment, but the moment we came here, she would not let me. Why did she suddenly become so bossy? Then I got up helplessly to take a shower. Ruoxue stood at the door and said, "Drinking harms your body. You sure nag a lot. Bringing you here was a bad idea." "Too late. I am already here. Even if you kill me, I am not going back." For the next morning, I got up early. Grandpa ran a steamed bun shop down the street. I got up early to help him carry the ingredients into the shop. After several trips, the sky gradually brightened. A few customers began coming in for steamed buns. I helped serve them all. Before long, a message came through on my phone. It was from Ruoxue, asking where I had gone. I sent her the address and told her to come over herself. Ruoxue arrived soon after. She joined in to help. "What time did you get up?" "A little after 4. Ruoxue gave a soft snort. "A lazy pig like you can actually get up this early. I have never seen you get up this early at school." I had nothing to say to that. Just then, a middle-aged man stopped at the stand. Well, is that not little Chen? You are back for break." I smiled. "Good morning, Uncle Li." Then Uncle Li looked over at Ruoxue. "So Xiao Chen brought a girlfriend home?" Ruoxue blushed at that, not knowing what to do. Just as she was about to say something, I spoke first. "She is just a classmate. She has family matters to deal with. She is staying with me for a few days." Ruoxue clenched her fist at that. Why did he sound so dismissive of me? He was asking for a beating. Uncle Li clearly did not believe me. After chatting a while, he took his buns and left. After Uncle Li left, Ruoxue could no longer contain her anger. "Xiao Chen." I immediately sensed trouble, so I took off running. "Get back here. I have had enough of you. I am definitely going to beat you up." That idiot's mouth was unbearable. We ran, one chasing the other. In the end, I hid behind a park bench. After a while, I saw no one around and finally breathed easy. Does that girl really have that much stamina? I was exhausted. She must have run far away by now. Yeah. Before I could relax, I heard a familiar voice behind me. When I turned around, Ruoxue stood with her arms crossed, looking at me teasingly. "Run. Go on. Keep running." I shook my head and said, "I cannot run anymore." "Mercy, my lady." Ruoxue gave me no chance. She grabbed my collar and pinned me down. Then she unleashed all the anger she had built up that month. She felt utterly satisfied. All right. Have you hit me enough? Can you let go of me first?" "Sure. Call me sis." Then I will let you go. Why should I? Because I am older than you. I do not believe it. How do you know you are older than me? What year were you born? I was born in 2002. Hearing that, I said a little guiltily. I was born in 2004. See, that settles it. So it is only right that you call me sis. Little brother Xiao Chen. Blushing, I turned away. Why call me little brother when we are not related? Besides, asking me to call you sis now. I just could not bring myself to say it. Ruoxue watched me, smiling without a word. Xiao Chen's age matched little brother Xiao Chen's, too. Could this have been the same boy who, as a child, came to play with her every day? He used to trail after her like a little shadow, calling her sis. After they returned, Ruoxue received another call from her mother. Xiao, are you coming home for break? Ruoxue hesitated before saying, No, I am not. I am busy at school. I do not have time. All right. It would be boring to come home anyway, would it not? Do you have time during the break? Then, Suwan's voice held a trace of disappointment. She fell silent. She had originally hoped Zhou Yun would take Xiaoshu out. In the end, she sighed helplessly and said, Then stay safe at school. If you run out of money, tell us. After hanging up, Ruoxue lay on her bed, her expression unchanged. Since starting college, she had rarely asked her family for money. She had Grandpa to thank, too. If not for the money Grandpa gave her, she would never have met little brother Xiao Chen because she was short on money. Nor would she have become his roommate, leading to everything that followed. In the office, Suwan stared helplessly at the disconnected call. Her daughter was still distant and indifferent toward her. Just then, Zhou Yun walked in. Worried about Xiaoshu again? Yes. I hope she would come back so you could take her out. It will not help, Wan. It will not ease the tension between you and your daughter. And there is that male classmate, too. Zhou Yun did not need to say more. Suwan understood. After looking into Xiao Chen last time, they knew everything they could find out about him. They knew he was sharing an apartment with Ruoxue, and that Ruoxue had a part-time job. Suwan had wanted to put her foot down and stop her from doing those things. As the Su family's heiress, even if the company was struggling, she would never lack money, and sharing an apartment with a boy worried Suwan greatly. But remembering her daughter's temperament and Zhou Yun's advice, Suwan finally abandoned the idea. Meanwhile, I had wanted to take an afternoon nap, but Grandpa told me to take Ruoxue for a walk nearby. I was about to refuse, but Ruoxue kicked me lightly on the couch and said, Hurry up! Did you not hear Grandpa? Take me out for a while. What is there to do? Why not go back and sleep some more? Sleep, my ass. Look at you, you lazy pig. You are weak as anything. You could barely run this morning. You need more exercise. I think I am fine. Ruoxue cracked her knuckles. Her face was full of menace. Left with no choice, I took her to the park. I stood on a bridge, gazing distractedly into the distance. Watching my back, Ruoxue could sense something was wrong. After hesitating, she finally asked, What about your parents? They left to work elsewhere. They divorced, and neither wanted me. So I live with Grandpa. I am sorry. I did not know. Ruoxue was shocked and her heart ached for him. She did not know how to comfort him. It's all in the past. It was in the past. But the wounds it left in his heart would take a long time to heal. I lowered my head and said indifferently, While I was lost in thought, a soft hand took mine. Does this make you feel a little better? Ruoxue's cheeks flushed faintly. She had lost count of how many times she had been this bold. My face was even redder than hers. Let go of me. You are such a shameless pervert, always trying to take advantage of me. Xiao Chen, you jerk. Soon, the two of them were putting on another show in the park, chasing each other around. That afternoon, they passed a basketball court on their way back. Ruoxue asked, Can you play basketball? What do you mean by that? Nothing. How about we play one-on-one? Ruoxue looked at me provocatively. Bring it on. How do you want to play? She smiled as if she had gotten exactly what she wanted and said, If I win, my request is not unreasonable. You have to call me sis. I felt a little helpless at that. Then I said, Fine, but if I win, I want to get out of jail free card. You do hit pretty hard, after all. Ruoxue burst out laughing and tossed me the ball. Once the game began, they went back and forth. But in the end, Ruoxue's basketball skills were better. I shrugged. You win. I really cannot beat you. After returning the ball, they left the court. On the way, Ruoxue walked beside me and smiled. Little brother Chen, you have not forgotten our bet, have you? I murmured in reply. and turned my head away. Seeing how shy I was, Ruoxue smiled more teasingly. Say it, sis. I said it once, then went quiet. Ruoxue stopped me as I tried to escape. I did not hear that clearly. Say it again. You did that on purpose, did you not? No. We agreed I would only say it once. I did not hear it. Then it does not count. Ruoxue stood in front of me, making it clear she would not let me leave until I said it. Helplessly, I could only say it again. Not bad. Little brother Xiao Chen. After all these years, she could finally call him that again. I froze where I stood, hearing that long-forgotten name. I looked at Ruoxue with mixed emotions, but could not see any trace of that childhood girl in her. It could not be, could it? For a moment, I was overcome by doubt. What is it? Little brother Xiao Chen? Ruoxue looked at me curiously, while secretly wondering, had little brother Xiao Chen recognized her? I shook my head and said, let's go back. Ruoxue looked a little disappointed, but she soon let it go. After all, girls change completely as they grow up. It was normal that he could not recognize her. That night, after Ruoxue finished showering, Grandpa had already made dinner. Seeing me head for the bathroom, Grandpa said, go ahead and wash up. The girl and I will eat first. Grandpa, are we not waiting for little Chen? In just 2 short days, Grandpa had already noticed that Ruoxue's way of addressing Xiao Chen had changed. He chuckled and said, girl, do not feel sorry for that brat. That is just how our family is. Let's eat first. Ruoxue blushed. The old man's words were far too blunt. Grandpa, did you call Xiao Chen Little Chen when he was young? Yes. Little Chen is his childhood nickname. His mother gave it to him. It was clearly a matter between 2 adults, yet the child was the one hurt. At that, Grandpa sighed, his expression turning desolate. Ruoxue felt miserable too. She knew about Xiao Chen's circumstances as well. Come on, eat. Let's not talk about this anymore. After dinner, I lay on my bed, helplessly watching Ruoxue seated beside me. We played all afternoon. Aren't you tired? Why are you still in my room? I am bored anyway. I want to hear you tell a story. What stories do I have to tell? Tell me about the most important person in your life. I paused, thinking of my childhood. Who was it? Ruoxue asked excitedly, though she was a little nervous inside. When I was little, I met a girl. She was chubby, but pretty cute. I spent that whole time playing with her. A lot of interesting things happened. Did you know her name? Ruoxue could barely contain her excitement. What Xiao Chen described was exactly like their childhood together. I did not, but I always called her sis. Hearing that, Ruoxue was so excited she nearly jumped up. Fortunately, she held herself back. Go on. But I lay back and looked at her as I asked, why are you so curious about me? Keep going. I want to hear more. I am not telling you anymore. Go back to your room and sleep. Only then did Ruoxue stand up, pouting. Fine. When there is another chance, I will tell you about myself. Who wants to hear your story anyway? After returning to her room, Ruoxue fell asleep with a sweet smile. Now, she was certain Xiao Chen was the childhood friend she had grown up with. With that thought, she slept sweetly that night. It felt as though she were dreaming. As a child, because of her family's circumstances and exceptional intelligence, Ruoxue did not attend kindergarten. Instead, she had a private tutor, with no one to keep her company. She liked wandering alone in the small park downstairs. That was where she met Xiao Chen. At the time, Xiao Chen's parents were in court over their divorce. In his innocence, he had no idea what was happening. Ruoxue still remembered it clearly. That brat had run over and said, Hey, little girl, why are you here all alone? Ruoxue looked at the child, who was a little shorter than she was, pouted, and said, Look at you, you little runt. You should be calling me sis.